I woke up at 3:15 in the morning and reached across the bed. Empty. The sheets were cold. Madison was not there. I sat up, rubbed my eyes, and listened. Silence. No sound from the bathroom, no light under the door. I walked through our apartment in Portland. Living room dark, kitchen empty. I looked out the window. Her car was gone. My stomach twisted, not with jealousy, with worry. It was past 3 in the morning and my girlfriend of 2 years had vanished without a word. I grabbed my phone and sent a simple text. "Where are you? Just worried. Text me when you see this." 10 minutes passed. Nothing. I called. Once, twice, 3 times. No answer. On the 4th call, she picked up. What? Her voice was sharp, annoyed. I tried to stay calm. "I just wanted to make sure you are okay. It is past 3 in the morning and I woke up. You were not here." Then she exploded. "Are you serious right now? You are checking up on me. You are too clingy, Victor. I cannot do this anymore. I need space. I cannot breathe with you constantly hovering." Those words hit me like a slap. I stood there in the dark, phone pressed to my ear, and something inside me shifted. Before we go further, let me ask you something. Where are you watching this from? Drop a comment and let me know. If this story hits close to home, hit that like button and subscribe, because what happened next, nobody saw coming, not even me. Let me take you back 2 years before that night. I met Madison at a small coffee shop in downtown Portland, Oregon. It was one of those autumn mornings when the rain had just stopped and everything smelled like wet pavement and cedar. She was sitting by the window sketching something in a notebook. I was there to grab my usual Americano before work. Our eyes met. She smiled. I smiled back. 20 minutes later, we were still talking. She was a graphic designer. I was a software engineer. We bonded over our shared love of hiking and bad horror movies. The first 8 months felt like a dream. We cooked dinner together on weeknights. She loved making pasta from scratch while I handled the sauces. We took weekend trips to Mount Hood hiking trails until our legs ached and our lungs burned in the best way. At night, we would collapse on her couch binge-watching sitcoms. Madison had this laugh, this genuine, unguarded giggle that came out when something really got her. She wore oversized knit sweaters even in summer and drank caramel lattes like they were water. I fell hard. I thought she did too. After 8 months, I moved into her apartment. It was a cozy one-bedroom place in the Pearl District, exposed brick walls, big windows, plants everywhere. It felt like home almost immediately. For a while, everything was perfect. We had routines, morning coffee together before work, evenings spent cooking or watching movies, weekends exploring new restaurants or driving out to the coast. I thought we were building something real, something lasting. Then about 4 months before that 3 in the morning phone call, things started to change. At first it was subtle. Madison began coming home late, not just a little late, midnight, 1 in the morning, sometimes later. When I asked, her answers were vague. Late meeting, drinks with coworkers, networking event. I did not press. I trusted her. I'm not a jealous person. I never have been. But I would be lying if I said I did not notice the shift. One night I made a special dinner. Salmon with roasted vegetables, her favorite. I set the table, lit candles, put on music. I waited. And waited. She came home at 11. She looked exhausted, barely glanced at the table and said I already ate. Then she went straight to the bedroom. I sat there alone, staring at the cold food, feeling something crack inside me. Another time I bought tickets to see her favorite band. I was so excited to surprise her. I told her a week in advance so she could plan. The day of the concert, she texted me 2 hours before. I forgot I have plans. Cannot make it. Sorry. No explanation. No offer to reschedule. Just sorry. I went alone. I sat in that venue surrounded by couples and friends, and I felt invisible. Madison started spending more time on her phone. She would angle the screen away when I walked by. She would take calls in the other room. She would laugh at texts and not tell me what was funny. I told myself she was stressed with work, that she needed support, not pressure. So I tried harder. I gave her massages after long days. I cleaned the apartment without being asked. I bought her flowers. I left little notes. I did everything I could think of to show her I cared. But the more I tried, the further she pulled away. I could feel it. The distance growing between us like a canyon I could not cross. I kept telling myself it was temporary, that we would get through it, that love meant sticking it out during the hard times. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. I just did not want to face it. Until that night. Until 3:15 in the morning when I woke up alone and everything came crashing down. I was not being paranoid that night. I was being a concerned partner. When I reached across the bed and felt nothing, my first thought was not, where is she? It was, is she safe? Madison had never left in the middle of the night before, not without telling me. So I checked the bathroom. Empty. I walked through the apartment. Nothing. I looked out the window and saw her car was gone. My heart started to race, not with anger, with fear. What if something happened? What if she needed help? That is why I sent the text, "Where are you? Just worried. Text me when you see this." It was not controlling. It was not possessive. It was a simple question from someone who cared. I waited 10 minutes, no response. So I called. The first call went to voicemail, so did the second and the third. On the fourth call, she finally answered, but the voice that came through the phone was not the Madison I knew. It was cold, hostile. But I tried to keep my voice steady. "I just wanted to make sure you are okay. It is past 3 in the morning and I woke up. You were not here." That is when she exploded. "Are you serious right now? You are checking up on me. You are too clingy, Victor. I cannot do this anymore. I need space. I cannot breathe with you constantly hovering." Each word felt like a punch. I stood there in the dark, phone pressed against my ear, barely breathing. I tried to respond. I was not checking up. I was worried. "You did not tell me you were going out." She cut me off. "I do not need to report every single move to you. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You are suffocating me." Behind her voice I heard something. Music, bass thumping, laughter, male voices. I tried one more time. "Where are you right now?" Her response was ice. "That is none of your business." See, this is the problem. I am done with this conversation. I will be back when I feel like it. Do not call me again tonight. The line went dead. I stood there in the silence of our bedroom phone, still in my hand. My arm was shaking, not from anger, from something else. Exhaustion, hurt, clarity. This was not the first fight. This was not even about tonight. This had been building for months. All the late nights, all the vague excuses, all the times she made me feel like I was asking too much for simply caring. It all came together in that moment. I sat down on the edge of the bed. The apartment was so quiet I could hear the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. I thought about all the times I had made excuses for her. She is stressed, she is busy, she just needs time. But the truth was staring me in the face. I had been the only one trying. I had been the only one fighting for us. And she had just called me clingy for asking where she was at 3 in the morning. Something inside me settled. A strange calm washed over me. I was not angry. I was not heartbroken. I was just done. Done making excuses. Done being treated like I was the problem for caring. Done giving everything to someone who saw it as suffocating instead of love. I picked up my phone. I opened her contact, and I blocked her number. Then I blocked her on Instagram, on Facebook, on every platform we shared. It felt mechanical, almost robotic, but it also felt right. Next, I stood up and pulled my suitcase out of the closet. I started packing. Clothes, shoes, laptop, chargers, my books, photos of my family, everything that was mine. I left behind anything that belonged to her or to the apartment. I did not want to take anything that would remind me of this place. I worked in silence, no music, no crying, just the sound of zippers and drawers opening and closing. At 5 in the morning, I heard the front door open. Madison stumbled in. She was drunk. I could hear it in the way she moved, clumsy and loud. She did not even look toward the bedroom. She just collapsed onto the bed, fully clothed, and passed out within seconds. I stood in the doorway and looked at her. She was lying on her back, mouth open, makeup smeared. This was the woman I had loved, the woman I had imagined a future with, and now looking at her, I felt nothing but emptiness. I walked to the kitchen and grabbed a piece of paper. I wrote one sentence. You wanted space. You got it. Do not look for me. I left it on the counter where she would see it. At 5:30 in the morning, I loaded my car, 2 suitcases, a backpack, a box of personal items. That was it. That was all I needed. I took one last look at the apartment. Then I got in my car and drove away. I did not look back, not once. I drove south. I had no plan, no destination. I just drove. Hours passed. The sun came up. Portland disappeared in my rearview mirror. Around noon, I stopped at a gas station in Southern Oregon to fill up. I checked my phone out of habit. I had unblocked Madison temporarily just to see if there was anything. There was one message, sent at 4:30 in the morning, half an hour before she got home. Baby, I'm sorry. I drank too much. Come pick me up. She had sent me an address, a bar downtown, but clearly she had managed to get home on her own. I also saw a notification from Instagram. Someone had tagged Madison in a photo. I clicked on it. It was from 2:45 in the morning. Madison was at a bar leaning into some guy, both of them smiling wide. She looked happy, happier than she had looked with me in months. I stared at that photo for a long time. Then I deleted the notification, blocked her again, and kept driving. I did not feel vindicated. I did not feel hurt. I just felt free. I drove for 14 hours straight. I did not stop except for gas and bathroom breaks. I kept driving until I hit Austin, Texas. I had a college buddy there, Marcus. We had not talked much in the past year, but he was the kind of friend who did not need explanations. I called him from a parking lot. I'm in Austin. Can I crash at your place for a few days? He did not ask questions, just said, come over. Marcus let me stay in his guest room. He could tell something had happened, but he did not push. After a few days, I told him the basics. Girlfriend and I broke up, needed a fresh start. He nodded and said, stay as long as you need. Within a week, I found a small one-bedroom apartment in South Austin. It was nothing fancy, just a basic place with white walls and cheap carpet, but it was mine. I signed the lease and moved in with my 2 suitcases in a box. That was all I had. And honestly, it felt like enough. I started applying for jobs. Within 3 weeks, I had an offer from a tech startup downtown. The pay was decent. The work was interesting. I accepted. Life started to take shape. Wake up, work, gym, cook, sleep, repeat. It was simple, almost boring. But after the chaos of the past few months, boring felt like peace. I did not date. I did not go on social media. I had deleted all my accounts the day I left Portland. I did not want to see updates. I did not want to know what Madison was doing. I did not want any connection to that part of my life. I focused on myself. I joined a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym. I had always wanted to try martial arts, but I never had the time. Now I had nothing but time. I trained 4 times a week. It was brutal at first. I got tapped out by everyone. But slowly I got better. I learned discipline. I learned patience. I learned how to stay calm under pressure. I picked up guitar. I bought a cheap acoustic from a pawn shop and taught myself through online videos. I was terrible. My fingers hurt. My chords sounded like dying cats. But I kept at it. Every night after work, I would sit on my couch and practice for an hour. It was meditative. I started reading again. Real books, not just articles or emails. I read fiction philosophy biographies. I read before bed instead of scrolling through my phone. I forgot how much I loved getting lost in a story. On weekends, I volunteered at a local animal shelter. I walked dogs. I cleaned kennels. I played with cats. It was hard work, but it felt good. Those animals did not care about my past. They just wanted attention and kindness. I could give them that. At work, I threw myself into projects. I stayed late. I took on extra responsibility. Within 6 months, I was promoted to senior developer. A year after that, I became team lead. My boss told me I had leadership potential. That felt good. Not because of the title, but because I was building something, proving to myself that I could succeed. 18 months after arriving in Austin, I bought a house. It was small. A 2-bedroom bungalow with a little yard. But it was mine. I owned it. I spent weekends fixing it up, painting walls, planting a garden, building a fence. I adopted a dog from the shelter where I volunteered, a golden retriever mix named Copper. He became my best friend. I joined a hiking group. We went out every other weekend to state parks around Texas. I met people, made friends, real friends, people who knew the version of me that existed now, not the version that had been broken in Portland. One night, Marcus came over for dinner. We were sitting on my back porch, beers in hand, Copper at our feet. Marcus looked at me and said, "Man, you are like a different person." In a good way. I thought about that. Am I? He nodded. When you first got here, you were hollow, like someone had scooped out your insides. Now you are solid. You are here. You are present. I smiled. I'm just finally myself. And I meant it. For the first time in years, I was not trying to be what someone else needed. I was not bending myself into shapes to fit someone else's expectations. I was just Victor. And that was enough. 3 years passed, 3 years of building a life I was proud of, a life that was mine. And then on a Saturday morning at a farmer's market in downtown Austin, someone called my name. Victor, I turned around. And there she was. Madison. She looked different, thinner, tired. Her hair was shorter. She had dark circles under her eyes. But it was definitely her. She stood there holding a canvas tote bag filled with vegetables, staring at me like she had seen a ghost. Madison. She took a step closer. Oh my God, I finally found you. I have been looking everywhere. You just disappeared. I kept my voice calm. That was the point. Her face crumpled. Can we talk? Please, just coffee. I should have said no. I should have walked away. But curiosity got the better of me. 30 minutes. We sat at a small cafe 2 blocks away. Madison ordered a latte. I ordered black coffee. She kept wringing her hands, not meeting my eyes. After you left, she started. I panicked. I tried calling you. You blocked me. I went to your family. They would not tell me anything. Your friends did not know where you went. It was like you vanished. I did. She nodded, tears welling up. I spent months looking for you. I was a mess, Victor. That guy in the photo, the one from the bar. We dated for 2 months. He cheated on me. I lost my job because I could not focus. I moved back in with my parents. I was depressed. I finally started therapy. My therapist helped me see what I did, how I treated you, how I destroyed the best thing I ever had. She wiped her eyes. I found you through an old mutual connection. Someone mentioned you were in Austin. I flew down here. I've been searching for 2 weeks, and today I finally saw you. She looked at me with desperate eyes. I came here to ask you something. Can we try again? I have changed. I am in therapy. I know what I lost. I know what you meant to me. Please, Victor, just one chance. I sat there listening. I let her finish. Then I took a breath. Madison, I appreciate you telling me this, and I'm glad you're getting help. But no. Her face fell. Please, just one chance. I know I hurt you. I will do anything. I shook my head. You already had your chance. You had 2 years of me trying. That night I was not being clingy. I was being a partner who cared. You called that suffocating. I leaned forward. These 3 years I learned something. I was not the problem. I was giving everything to someone who did not value it. You took my love and made me feel like it was too much, like I was too much. I sat back. I rebuilt my life. I am happy now. I have a home, a dog, friends, a career I am proud of, and I am not going back to who I was when I was with you. Madison started crying. So that is it. I stood up and put money on the table for my coffee. That is it. I wish you well, Madison. I really do. I hope therapy helps. I hope you find what you are looking for. But my answer is no. I walked out of that cafe. I did not look back. Not once. I drove home that afternoon, and Copper ran to greet me at the door, tail wagging like I had been gone for days instead of hours. I sat in my backyard watching the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky orange and pink. Copper lay at my feet content. I felt something settle inside me. peace. Not the absence of conflict, but the presence of certainty. Seeing Madison again did not reopen old wounds. It did not make me question my decision. If anything, it confirmed everything. Leaving was not revenge. It was not about punishing her. It was self-preservation. It was choosing myself when no one else would. I did not need closure from Madison. I had given myself closure 3 years ago when I walked out of that apartment. I did not need an apology. I did not need her to understand. I just needed to keep moving forward. That evening, Marcus stopped by with pizza. We sat on the couch, copper between us, watching a game. Marcus could tell something was on my mind. "You're quiet tonight." "What is going on?" I told him about the farmer's market, about Madison, about the conversation. When I finished, he looked at me. "How do you feel?" I thought about it. "Free." He nodded. "Good. That is exactly how you should feel." And he was right. I did not feel anger. I did not feel sadness. I just felt free. Free from the weight of that relationship. Free from the person I had been when I was trying to make it work. Free to keep building the life I wanted. Looking back now, that 3 a.m. phone call was a gift. It showed me the truth I had been avoiding for months. It forced me to stop making excuses and start making choices. Leaving was the hardest thing I had ever done, but it was also the best. I learned something important during those 3 years. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is walk away, not out of anger, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. You cannot love someone into loving you back, and you should not have to twist yourself into knots just to feel like you are enough. People will always show you who they are. Madison showed me. She showed me that I was an inconvenience, that my care was suffocating, that my love was too much. I chose to believe her, and I chose to leave. 6 months after that farmer's market encounter, I met someone new. Her name is Jenna. She's an elementary school teacher. We met through the hiking group. She's kind, she communicates, she values me. Our relationship is different, it is balanced, healthy. When I text her to check in, she does not call me clingy, she calls me thoughtful. When I make dinner, she does not take it for granted, she appreciates it. When I show up, she shows up too. Real love does not make you feel like you are too much. It makes you feel like you are exactly enough. Real love does not punish you for caring, it celebrates it. Madison wanted space. I gave her all the space in the world, and in that space, I found myself. I found strength I did not know I had. I found peace I did not know was possible. I found a life worth living. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is someone pushing you away, because it forces you to walk toward something better. It forces you to realize that you deserve more than scraps of affection and half-hearted commitment. I do not regret leaving. I only regret not leaving sooner. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever walked away from something that was hurting you even though it was hard? Have you ever had to choose yourself when no one else would? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future stories, and share this with someone who might need to hear it. Sometimes we all need a reminder that it is okay to walk away. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it brought you clarity, strength, or at least the knowledge that you are not alone. Take care of yourselves out there. You deserve love that lifts you up, not love that makes you question your worth. Until next time.